Salmanan, guys. I'm on Instagram, and there's this reel where it's a guy and a lady DJ, and the lady's talking about a psychological study that she picked up or she had heard, and she asked the DJ, she asked the guy, whoever the co-host is guess how many times worse children are when they're around their mothers versus anyone else. So the guy guesses, gives a percentage of how much he believes children are worse around their mothers versus everyone else. So anyway, these psychologists did these tests where they take children and they put them in a room, and they interact either with family members or teachers, or but not with their mother. And then they watched how the children interact when the mother comes in, or when the child is with their mother. And the numbers are, the child is 800 times, or 800% worse rather, when with their mother than around other people. Hear me out. A child's behavior is 800% worse when with their mother than other people. So then I jump into the comments, obviously, and a lot of a lot of women are touched, a lot of mothers are touched, and they're like, oh, that means a child is able to be vulnerable and open around their mother. A child is able to be who they truly are around their mother. Okay, sure. That's great. That's a plus. That's a win. And we want spaces where our kids become open and truly who they are. The problem is that if your child is truly a dick and opens up only when they with you, mom, then there's a fucking problem. If the child is 800% worse with the mom, then that's a fucking red flag. Let me hit another study. Or not another study, yeah. So again, these things are open, so if you can YouTube and Google it. It says the percent of a child going to prison, a child who is in a single mother or raised by a single mother, that percentage, né, is far worse than when the child is raised by the father, single father. So they've taken a study with single moms, and they've taken a study with single fathers. And this one here is way worse than just single fathers. Step further, the chance or the likelihood of a child being raised by a single father is exactly equal to a child being raised in a dual mom-dad household. Meaning again, there's a problem here. So I was having a conversation with a friend of mine, and she's a single mom of a son. And I was letting her know that my boys are going on holiday next week, and they're gallivanting and they're living their best life. But when they come back, I'm taking them camping, and we're going to pitch a tent, and, we're going to try and just do many things. So she asked her, she's like, why? Why don't you guys just book a chalet, and camp like that? I was like, no, because they fucking boys, I need to remind them that they men, so we have these conversations. I was like, that's my biggest problem with single mothers that raise boys. You guys are doing a phenomenal job. You guys are doing the best you can. La 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 la. Tick 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 tick. Well done. Let's clap hands. Here's the problem: the sons that you guys are raising, single moms, is not the man that you would date. You think it is, but if you break it down, it's not the man that you date. If you were to look at the characteristic traits or the checklist of the man that you'd like to date, what you're instilling in your son, that's not that shit. Yes, I know that I want him to be kind. I don't want him to be a dick like his actual dad. I want him to be compassionate. I want him to perfect. But at the same time, you also want a man who has a level of danger and control, and has a level of manliness, and just that, and a lot of women, what they do is that they want to parent that out. When I went to my son's parent teacher conference, you listen to a lot of what the male teachers are saying versus the female teachers. The male teachers, as they don't mind the boys having a bit of rough and tumble, having a bit of an untidy desk, getting stuck in, whereas the female teachers tend to want a boy where there's order and there's structure, and they neat, and they want. And I go, would you date a guy like that? I'm not talking about a fucking troll, but I'm just talking about a man who has become so feminized in spirit that it's just a female with a penis. Would you date that? Would you date that? Or are you looking for a very, very strong, dangerous man with a warm, kind heart and is able to control that side of him, and when needed and in certain spaces knows how to bring it out, while everyday life is warm, calm, compassionate? And I've seen so many mothers try and raise little girls with penises, and they forget to go to one day this little girl with the penis has to run his own household. He'll have to be seen as a provider and a protector. He'll have to be seen as this lion. But you've shaved off his mane, before he's even had a chance to grow it. So a lot of moms, if you're a single mother and you're raising a son, this is an exercise I'd like you to do. So have your checklist for what you are looking for in a man, in a partner. Have your list of red flags and have your list of white flags. So obviously red is all the things that you wouldn't want in a partner. All the white flags are things that you'd actually like in a partner. Okay, so you've got your checklist, blah, blah, blah. And then ask yourself, with all these red flags that I don't want in a partner, is that what I'm instilling in my child? Laziness, where you end up doing everything for your partner or for your child. Now would you want a partner that can't do shit for themselves? So look at all the things that you don't want in a partner. If you don't want a partner that is arrogant, meanwhile you're raising your son to be arrogant, or a partner who's constantly being passive aggressive or loves gossiping, whatever the case may be, yet that's all you do with your son. You gossip and you passive aggressive and all that shit. So again, look at that. And then look at all the white flags. If you want someone who is strong, are you raising your son as best as you can to be a strong man? Not just emotionally strong, but physically strong. So look at all these things that you would want in a partner and then ask it, which are you raising it in your son? With all that being said, celebrate, love all the single moms. Fuck all those dads that don't want to be in their sons' lives. Fuck all those dads that aren't even trying their best to be part of their sons' lives. You single mothers, I know you're doing the best that you can. I know you're doing the best that you can. It's just unfortunate that you've never peed standing up and you're trying to raise a young warrior who will go into the world and have to be a man. So use people like me. Send me a DM, say, hey, how can I try and do this with my son? How can I try to do this with my son? Use your cousins, use your male colleague friends, whatever the case may be, guys that you trust, guys that aren't trying to get into your booty. Use those guys. Use family members, male family members who you think this guy's a very, very strong male role model and I'd like certain traits that he possesses to be within my son. Please can you teach my son? So use us. Anyway, guys, it's just my thoughts. I don't know what your thoughts are. Please leave them in the comments below. Share this video. Like, subscribe, do all those good things if you haven't done them. Blessings. Yantan.